How are you, crew? In this video, I want to show you the method I've been using for a while, and it's given me really good results. To get rid of this little bug that lives inside here called woodworm, this method also works to eliminate termites in furniture or pieces of wood, if you have a lot of contaminated wood. This method is specific and somewhat tedious, so it may not work for you, but it's very effective. Woodworm is a beetle that gets into the wood, and its larvae start eating the wood and begin to move through internal tunnels. They emerge from these tiny holes, which are typical signs of woodworm. I've tried all kinds of chemicals, fumigating, and honestly, this method is the one that has worked best for me. The first thing we have to do is mark all the holes with a pencil. Make sure you don't miss any, not a single one. This step is super important. And after we apply the treatment, you'll understand why. Once you have the piece of furniture or the piece of wood, in this case, a beautiful walnut that would be a shame to throw away and give up on because of this damn beetle. After marking everything, we can proceed to the next step. I'm going to turn the board over so you can see that on the other side it was also infested with the beetle. There's another little hole, and here are several more. Next step, with a syringe that you can get at any pharmacy, they're very cheap. The one I'm using is 3 ml, and the diameter of the needle is perfect for getting into the woodworm holes. Carefully, we install this. And we take out a little bit of benzene or gasoline, and with the syringe filled with benzene, we start working. No science to it. Hole by hole, we insert the needle. We inject a little bit of benzene. If you notice that it starts to overflow, you can move on to the next hole if the hole lets you in. A little deeper. It's ideal since the benzene will be able to pass through the galleries more effectively. The advantage of benzene or gasoline is that since it's so thin, it can penetrate and travel much faster through the galleries. As a low viscosity liquid, unlike water, which is a bit more viscous than benzene, here the poison, which is the benzene itself, can penetrate much better. Look here, for example, we're injecting, and notice how the benzene traveled inside the wood. You notice that. This is a very handmade method, but believe me, it's the only one that has worked for me. Why is it important for us to mark the holes? Because after a couple of days have passed since we applied the benzene in all the holes, we have to come back and check the piece of wood to see if there are any new holes. If that's the case, it means we didn't manage to kill all the woodworm larvae. Here, for example, I missed a hole. So I'm going to apply benzene to it and mark it so I don't get confused. Later, when we check the wood again, if we see a new hole, that means the treatment wasn't effective or there were some survivors left. We inject here and look, benzene starts coming out here. Does that mean the beetle's tunnel went down here? I tried this method with water and with a product that was specially made for termites. But the problem with water is that it doesn't travel so well inside. I think that's the whole science here. Choosing a liquid that's very thin so it can reach or travel better through the tunnels. As a fact, I can tell you that these walnut boards I sawed about 4 years ago must have gotten contaminated by about 1 or 2%. But coincidentally, the logs that I left with bark when the boards were sawed and had a little bit of bark, those were exactly the boards that got contaminated. So if you want to prevent the attack of these wood-boring insects, these bugs that eat wood and saw their own wood, I would recommend that as soon as the wood is sawed, you remove the bark and store the planks properly, well stacked. That's my method. It's the one that has worked best for me, and that's what I wanted to share with you in today's video. Super simple. I hope you give it a try and let me know how it goes. Sending you a hug, take care, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye-bye.